Okay, we are going live in a few seconds. Yeah, got it. There we go. All right, thanks for the reminder. So once again, welcome everybody to our very last meeting of the UWI Young Investors Club. It's a very special meeting because the old exec is going out and a brand new exec is coming in, and we'll be welcoming them. So as you guys would have seen on the flyer, we have a games day planned for you guys and a roundtable talk where we'll be discussing the stock market in general or anything happening in the economy. You know, just some chill vibes as we exit this semester and wind down. So we're gonna get right into introducing you guys to our brand new exec. And we will start with our president, Khalil Mitchell. Welcome, Khalil.
Hi, thanks, Victoria. So, afternoon, everyone. So, my name is Khalil Mitchell. As Victoria said, I'm looking forward to being a new president in the new school year coming up. So, I'm really excited about the club and all that we're going to do. I'm a med student here at UWI, and I'm really excited about this club. I love it so much, and I hope we can just grow it. And great things are ahead. So, I'll just hand over to the next person on the exec.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Khalil. And guys, Khalil is a representation of the fact that you can be in any faculty at all and still be involved in investing. You know, the fact is that investing is for everybody. It's not limited to anybody at all. So he is a med student, yet he is so capable of being the president of an investing club because he has a wide range of knowledge on investing and really good leadership. And on the topic of really good leadership, we'll introduce our Vice President, O'Dane McDonald. Welcome, O'Dane.
Hello, good afternoon. Is everyone hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing perfectly.
Wonderful. We all know Zoom has a habit of working perfectly while you're testing, and immediately as you come on, everything is gone. So as you can see, I'm not gone. I'm right here, and I've been here since, I don't think it was day one. I think it was day two, but I don't plan on leaving. I'm O'Dane McDonald. I'm going to be a new vice president, and I'm looking forward to, especially as we transition into face-to-face, really re-dynamizing the club, getting members more directly involved, hands-on involved, and really coming together to not only sort of have a club that does benefit to us, but even to the wider UWI community, because, you know, we're a student body, each one help one. That's what I'm looking forward to this year.
Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you, O'Dane. And we'll now introduce our Director of Public Operations, Abigail Johnson. Unfortunately, I think she's having some trouble with her camera. You know, as O'Dane mentioned, sometimes Zoom wants to act up right when you really need it to work. So unfortunately, that happened to Abigail. But welcome, Abigail. And if your mic is working, then feel free to introduce yourself.
No, camera is actually on no.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abigail Johnson, and I will be the Director of Public Operations for the academic year 2022 to 2023. I am looking forward for a fun and interactive semester with you guys, and feel free to ask me about anything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abigail. We welcome Abigail to the exec as the DPO, guys. She has so much capability in this position, and we're really looking forward to what she will bring to the club and all the energy that she will bring to. So we will now introduce our Director of Internal Affairs, Aliyah Rose. Welcome, Aliyah.
Hi Victoria. Hi, everyone. I am Aliyah Rose. I'm going to be the Director of Internal Affairs for the academic year 2022 to 2023. I am majoring in accounting, and I am very fun. You guys are going to love interacting with me next year as we continue to make this club an awesome club.
Awesome. Love that. All right. Thank you so much, Aliyah, and welcome, welcome, welcome. And the next person we will introduce is our Director of External Affairs, Renardo Wint. Welcome, Renardo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Victoria. As Victoria mentioned, I'm Bernardo Wind, and I'll be the Director of External Affairs for the upcoming school year 2022-2023. And I'm really looking forward to working with you guys and also working with individuals outside of the group to incorporate knowledge outside of the club with members of the club. So you guys just interact with me. Follow me on my social, reach out if any question, Bernardo Win _ JA. And yeah, just interact with me and work with me as I work with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bernardo. Looking forward to what you'll bring to IIC. And the next person we'll introduce is our Director of Investment Research, Kimani Mills. Welcome, Kimani.
Afternoon, Victoria and everyone else. My name is Kimani Mills. I'll be a new Director of Investment Research. I'm taking over from Jason, and that's an honor. Thank you for your service, Jason. So I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in face-to-face next semester and going onwards. I'm here if you guys need anything. If you guys need to source anything as well, you can contact me. If I don't have it, I get someone who have it. So thank you.
Awesome, love that. Definitely looking forward to, well, I can't say I'm looking forward because I won't be here, but I know Kimani will do a good job with the research and the breadth of it. You guys will be sure to stay up to date with everything happening in our country and the world. And the next person we'll introduce, last but not least at all, is Jordina Abigail. I don't want to butcher her name, but I think it's Abigail. Welcome, Jordina.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jordina Abigail. Are you guys hearing me?
Jordina Abigail, yes. We're hearing you, but it's very low. I'm not sure if you could up the volume a little bit, and we're not seeing you.
Are you guys hearing me now? Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing.
Wait, are you?
We're not seeing you though.
Where my camera is? You guys are not seeing me?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. My camera is on.
Okay, I think it might be coming up now.
Okay. So my name is Jordina Abigail, and I will be the new Director of Treasury, and I am looking forward to having new stuff done and to do new fundraising since we probably go back face to face and all of that. And I really hope that we have a lot of fun, even though you guys are leaving, and you guys are really the best, and you guys did a good job with this club for the previous execs.
Thank you so much, Jordina. Oh, Dane, you were saying something?
I was just saying Jordina is only this soft-spoken online. I'm sure that in person she's going to be as bubbly as the.
No, this is actually my real voice, and this is how I speak. That's why I don't normally unmute, because I normally get comments about my voice. I don't like it.
That's okay.
Your voice is amazing. Zoom is the issue. Zoom is the one giving you the.
Yeah, that's completely fine. We welcome everybody, a whole range of different personalities, a whole range of different capabilities and potential. And we just really trust you guys and have confidence that you'll continue to lead this beautiful club in the way that we have set, and you'll grow it even further and make it even more amazing. So welcome all, welcome our new exec. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. Yes, so thank you all for stepping up to the position and, taking on this responsibility. So, guys, of course, we have to get our new exec involved in today's meeting. So the old exec and the new exec has, in collaboration, planned this. So now we will hand over to Jason for his 5 minutes with JD presentation, which he has also worked on with Kimani, who will be taking his position. So over to you guys.
Hey, thank you, Victoria. So, yeah, this is the last 5 minutes with JD. right? You'll probably have other 5 minutes, which tends to be 15 minutes with Kimani, or if their exec chooses to mix it up and you see somebody else every week, it's entirely up to them. So this is the last one I've got. I'm going to share my whole screen because there's something else I want to show you guys. And yeah, Kimani was collabing with me on this one. So this is April 7th, 2022, the last one you'll hear from me. Our current exec will probably come back to other meetings, we don't know, but as guest speakers, if you guys choose to invite us. It's not like we're members, so maybe we'll make moves and do something guest speaker worthy one day. So you guys may have been seeing this. I think it's an absolutely hilarious meme. And how JMMB has been moving lately is amazing. Now, I will confess that I bought JMMB at a very high price because I bought most of my shares in 2020 before COVID became a concern, and it was very promising. And then it fell down, and I was like, I am not selling. Everybody's telling me, oh, but opportunity cost, you know, you could make money otherwise. And finally, it's paying off right now. So I'm very happy about this. When we look at their last annual reports, so this is 2020 to 2021, we see some pretty cool stuff. We're hoping to see other good stuff as well. I'm not really sure what's driving this current rally in the market. I think Matthew has some comments, not to put him on the spot, or Victoria, or anyone, Kimani, anybody who wants to say something, even if you're not on the current or new exec. JMMB, what do you guys think? Because I guess a lot of you guys fall into this category.
Yeah, yeah, Jason. So it's funny because JMB has kind of become like such a meme, and even before it started taking off, it was such a meme because it's like, as you guys can see in the scheme of what is this, 3 months, it's a pretty flat line. It's a pretty flat line. And then if you look over at the 1 year chart and stuff, the line is pretty flat. So, you know, of course, the stock was getting memed for that, which is funny. But, you know, people like Jason who held it down, held the faith, they're getting their reward now, as they should, for waiting this long. But I don't know, JMMB is definitely a solid company, and you know, you can see in their financials that they perform really well. But there's just something about it where it's not one of those super fast moving stocks. Like you haven't seen a whole lot of growth recently. I mean, not recently, in the past year or so until now. And the reason for that is that they're doing a share buyback. So, you know, that is helping with the entire movement of it. If Matthew wants to, I'll let him speak on that some more. But yeah, it's good to see it finally moving.
Yeah, so people have been begging for a share buyback, and JMMB's board finally said, yes, we'll do one. But I think a lot of people might have misinterpreted the notice. They think the buyback starts on April 1, when they just said it starts in the year that starts on April 1. So there could be a lot of people buying in anticipation of the buyback, or just people just looking at JMMB now. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go ahead, Victoria.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, this is something that happens with the market too. You guys will notice where it's like, even if it's not actual news, like official confirmed news that's moving a stock, just the mere speculation moves it sometimes. So you'll see that like with this, for example, or when you have rumors of reverse takeover coming, you know, you'll see stocks really moving up a lot just on mere speculation. But then it's like, you have to kind of fact check sometimes, because you've seen where stocks can go up really fast and they come down just as fast. So yeah, what were you saying, Malik?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's literally that's the definition of buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Matthew was right that they said it was going to start in the new fiscal year, which starts April 1, but they didn't say that they're going to start buying back shares on April 1. I think they were supposed to buy back about 300 million units. I think that was not $300 million. $300 million worth.
They allocated $300 million. Plus, they also said that they would get back to us once they get regulatory approval, which they haven't yet.
Which they haven't.
They haven't. There's a lot that they have to tell us that they haven't told us yet. They can literally buy back all the shares on the Trinidad market and ignore Jamaica. So, yeah, there's a lot of unknowns still about the share buyback.
Yeah, I guess that shows the psychology of the market. But I'm personally happy because I knew that I kind of anticipated that this would have happened. So I got in about like the last week of March, and I've, let's say, taken my profit. So if the price goes down a little bit more, JMB is a really good company. It's fundamentally wise, it's undervalued, but you know, real life and stocks don't necessarily always line up with fundamentals. So there's a lot of factors to take heed of and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah. Matthew had sent me this, that, you know, Chris Berry was talking about some developments there. I'd invite him to talk about it, but we have games to get to and we have news to cover, so we're going to skip the MMB for now. So Chris Berry also tweeted about the CPJ store. This 11 hours ago was as of last night, about 8 p.m. So this is like yesterday, and talking how good the sales were. And we see that CPJ was going up pretty high. Like this was up 16%. By the way, don't be fooled by this 0.45%. That was that day. Maybe over the course of last week, JMMB went up. Well, like last week and this week, it was like between 16 and 20%. So these stuff have been going up really crazy. And I know Victoria put that on Instagram because I'm now using Instagram in very limited quantities as opposed to none at all. So I see stuff again. But yeah. Wisynco had another fire. So you guys may remember that Wisynco had a fire like years ago, about 5-6 years ago, thereabouts. I'm not quite sure about that. And that burnt down their whole warehouse, so they had to get a new warehouse. And Dr. Damian King, he had said, so the econ lecturer at UWI, he had said that really was what saved them, because it forced a certain investment that got them to grow faster than they would have otherwise. Like, you take away what they have, so they're starting over fresh with something that they needed. And yeah, Wisynco learned the hard way about what a fire can do. So this time a fire broke out, and they had a fire suppression system that worked this time. You know, just because you have a fire suppression system doesn't mean that it will work. And just because you have a fire doesn't mean you can't out it without a suppression system. So I'm not saying like, oh, this is solely because of their preparation, but it's good that they were prepared. They had minimal loss, no loss of life or limb, which was good. The operations continued as normal within the night. So you see, like, the market responded a little bit because this is when the fire broke out and it dipped a little and it went up. And this 4% is pretty good. So, like, you know, imagine having sold and bought back, like, down here and it went up. Again, not financial advice, but just showing you how little things can move the market. You can make little gains. Of course, you're going to have transaction fees. So you want to weigh the cost of actually doing the transaction. And you don't even know if it's going to go back up. You might guess. You might make an educated guess. But you don't know for sure.
Yeah, so guys,
I think a good comparison to this was probably the fire that took place with Seprod last year. I remember the fire around like October, November, and the price went back down and went right back up, and it burnt a lot of people. But after the fire took place on, I think, what, Friday night, I got in on the little bottom of the U right there at the bottom, around 18 something dollars. And no, I think it closed at about $20 today for Wisynco. So it's just, with news, you have to watch out for certain stuff and just remember to not panic. Take time and think about certain stuff, because panicking causes a lot of pain in the market. You were saying something, Victoria?
Yeah, on the same note, I was going to say, as Jason said, this is not financial advice, but if you think about it, guys, you could either be the person selling when the news breaks out and the stock is falling, so you're selling and losing money, or you could be the person that buys it when the bad news has broken out and the stock has already fallen, like what Malik did, and then you're back on the upswing. So, you know, as an investor, you just kind of have to think differently about how things may appear on the surface. Like, okay, it's bad news, so let me run away from the stock. No, you might have to think like, okay, it's bad news, it might fall, and then if it falls, at some point it might go back up, so maybe you can buy the dip. So, yeah, just a little hint. So that's like what Malik did, for example. So.
Yeah, keyword being might go back out, because like the reason why, I think somebody's mic is on. Yeah, the reason why you would sell it is because it might lose more money and you might lose more value. So sometimes bad news is very much the reason to sell and you want to be the first out of it. So we're not saying like bad news equals buying opportunity. Bad news might equal buying opportunity. And sometimes when you see a stock going up, you actually want to buy it while it's going up because it's going to continue going up. The thing is nobody knows. So that's where that uncertainty comes into play. And these things about time series, data analytics to predict stock prices, like no, it's predicting emotions, and you can't really do that because it's so many at once. So yeah, I just don't think it's a good idea to attempt predicting stock prices. It's not in my opinion.
I guess this is something just why like the importance of research. So like seeing the single file, you could look back at Shepherd's file, as you said. And you could also look back at Cinco's first file. Like you probably see that this one, you'd probably see that this one is like very small and minuscule. Like it literally had no effect on their operations. And then even the separate file that had major impacts on their operations. But like when you consider that they'll get the insurance money to offset all the money that they would have lost from the file, that would have probably like made you buy the product level. So it's just showing the importance of research.
Exactly. And Matthew is very big on research, so if he says it, we know. Much better than me. Like I kind of look at trends, probably not as much as fundamentals as I should, unless it's a company I like CPJ. But not financial advice to buy CPJ. Edifocal, so this one traded firm on Wednesday, which I was surprised about. So, Edifocal came out in mid-March and they were at $1 per share, and that IPO closed really quickly and it made so many gains, but it didn't move at all on Wednesday. So I was interested to see that. You see, Elmo doesn't really know what to make of it. This one, so this is a really good example. Victoria said earlier that sometimes you see a stock go up and go back down. So 138 SLVR, so this is 138, the place that a lot of people live on at UWI. These are the variable preference shares. So the variable, I think Matthew was telling me, it was tied to weighted average treasury bond yield, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So the 108 today,
right, so preference shares, they tend to be less liquid, so they move in a lot more blocky kind of vibes. And I was wondering, why is it that 138 SLVR made so much money in such a short time, and 138 was trading so low? And if you bought into 138 and you didn't buy into 138 SLVR, you're seeing what looks like the same company make so much more money if you bought into it. So I was wondering, but then apparently the hype died down and something would have happened, like their interest expense would have increased in a short time based on what Matthew was telling me, I think.
So over the past let's say 3 months or so, or over the past few months, the what be that those preference shares are based on, they've gone up like a massive amount. And so people who hold the shares are going to be getting more like dividends essentially. So that could be a factor. We don't really know why people are buying or selling. But I suspect that a lot of people are accidentally buying this over the actual 138. And then, the other part is probably a bit too technical to get in now, but yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy, right? Because if you go down 20%, imagine you have 100K, like imagine you have that to put into one stock and you feel like doing it, and then you wake up tomorrow morning and you see 80K, like you're down 20%, like that's very annoying. So stocks go up and they come back down.
Yes.
Link, I'm gonna show you about Link, guys. If you didn't know about it before, you've probably heard about it, but let me show you because I want you to see it. So on Link is like this NCB wallet. By the way, this is not sponsored. I just want you to know because I think it's cool. So Link is NCB's digital wallet that they're setting up, right? And you have some bonus that you can get up. So this is the pop-up on the website. You can get it on Apple and Android. And it doesn't seem to have terrible KYC requirements at all, which I'm really impressed about. You download it, you put some ID, which you would need anyway for an account. You connect your bank and you deposit money. So think of it like a wallet, like a physical wallet. Imagine you have two wallets, like one that you like and for one outfit or one place and one, whatever wallet you have, and you distribute your money between the two wallets. That's exactly what Link is being like. So you can have money for digital transactions. cash in, cash out simple. And I think it's so cool, and they're pushing it fairly well. I don't know how it's going to be. I personally have not downloaded it yet, but since I've been seeing it push so much, and because I didn't really take the time to look at it, I wanted to show you guys what it's about. And this is tied to NCV. Garnet is saying still trying to figure out.
I think the government is actually using Link as the CBDC pilot kind of platform so people can conduct transactions, because last month at the budget debate, the minister actually paid his barber $500 using Link. I think Link was what they used, and they were using CBDC over app 3. I downloaded the app before, and I have some money on there, but I've never actually used it before though.
Somebody else was saying something?
I think someone had
a whole echo. I don't think we heard anything just now.
Okay, cool. Well, let's move on. It's cool to check out, guys.
Hold on. So someone is asking in the chat the difference between Link and Quisk.
I'm not sure. I know Link supports the Jamaican CBDC, so central bank digital currency. I don't know if Quisk doing that. I'm not so familiar with Quisk to say that. Maybe Malik would know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not fully sure either. I don't really know what Quisk is. I've heard the name, but I don't really actually know what it is.
Yeah, I'm not fully sure either, but the Link is really unique in the sense of our own digital currency. So you guys know how you have JMD, you have USD. The digital currency is going to be Jamdex. That's it, right, guys? Jamdex?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, so it's a currency within itself. So I'm not sure about Quisk, but I don't think they offer that. So Link is very, sorry about the background noise. Yeah, Link is very unique in the sense that I think it's for the purpose of pushing digital currency. So yeah.
I could speak on how Quisk is different in that.
Sorry, excuse me. With Quisk,
continue, Renato.
Yeah, with Quisk, it just basically used for payment. With Link now, it can make transfer. It's like pretty much like a Jamaican version to Cash App in a way. You make transfer from individual to individual, make payment as well. But the difference with it and Quisk is that with Quisk, it's only used for payment, as far as my knowledge. I don't know.
So Link would probably be more peer-to-peer, while Quisk is just for payment transfer and stuff like that. Okay.
Thanks, guys. We need to move on.
Yeah, and
But what was that? We can take one more because this is probably important.
With Link, like their taxi drivers and barbers were accepting Link, and even regular street vendors accepting Link.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot more democratized, like way more inclusive, way more people. All right, Kimani shared this one with us. So we were talking about Alliance before and how they were having this crackdown about compliance, and now apparently they've satisfied Sagicor's due diligence. So Sagicor, when they bought them, because I believe they bought them, purchase of 100% of their shares, they're able to become operational like very soon because they've cleared that due diligence. So that's cool. We're going through because I'm very much over time. Norbrook Equity Partners, they poured 600 million into merged entertainment companies. So because we're seeing the place open up COVID-wise, we're going to be seeing more entertainment events going on late into the night, being sanctioned, hosting more people, and that's an opportunity to make money, especially in Jamaica. So that's being done. I think Kimani sent me this one too. All right. So Chris Berry in November last year had a not so popular tweet given by Chris Berry's standard. Actually, I don't want to say that because I don't know how often, but he's a public figure, right? Derrimon buying Arosa. So Arosa is this distributor of luxury goods, meats, cheeses on the North Coast. Derrimon bought it out just now. So Chris Berry was talking about this for a long time, and Matthew is the one who pointed it out to me. And now, this is today, this morning, April 7th at 8:11 a.m. It came out. So we're probably going to see if Derrimon is going to boost their profitability. Matthew and I were talking about it, right? So Luxury goods, you're probably not going to see such a big profit margin on them because they're imported, except for alcohol. So the European liquor, the fine liquor, that's probably going to give them high profit margins. As to the mix of goods, you know, is 50% of their merchandise liquor, is 20% 10. How is Derrimon going to do that? That might affect their profitability, but their revenues are pretty high. Looking at what's going on in the chat, though, that's about Twist. Moving on before I get run off for going overtime. K-Preet dropped their APO prospectus. So last year, and I mean last academic year. So this is first years you wouldn't have been at UWI by now. Final years you'd have been early up. Anybody in between you'd have been early up. We had the CEO of K-Preet, Kingston Properties Real Estate Investment Trust, come for many years, right? Maybe David kept on getting him to come, which was really cool because he's a smart guy and really, really sharing of his knowledge. And he said he'd have an APO. So we've been watching that, and we finally saw this dropped. I think Siobhan dropped it in the chat, one of the YIC group chats last night. And yeah, I haven't looked through it yet. I said I was going to call them today to try and see if they'd be nice enough to send me a digitized version so I could run some analytics on it. I don't know if they're going to do that. Matthew seems to think that they won't. But in any case, this is something worth looking into, in my opinion. Because, again, not investment advice, but I've been waiting for this for a long time. So I'm interested to see what insights it has. On the world scene, Elon Musk, he bought a stake in Twitter because he didn't like what Twitter was doing. So you see people saying like, oh, reinstate Donald Trump's account. So if he manages to get that done, then we'll see a lot more funny stuff happening on Twitter. Again, I'm not using social media as much as I used to, but we can see that happening. Oh, I did not delete this. Let's do that so you can see what's underneath. Crude oil is down a little bit, so you see how Biden's dumping into the market and probably pre-pricing in. Oil fell a bit. And now we have a little treat. So we're going to look at some old stuff that we did over the past year. So in September, looking at crude oil, remember when it was at 80 and we were saying, oh, gee, that's expensive. Well, we've seen stuff get really expensive.
That's crazy.
Remember our talks about Carib Cement and how that company was crazy, withholding dividends and how it was going up. This is also a TB to the Jamaica Stock Exchange's old user interface before they revamped it. You see the gray there and the gray volume trading.
Massacre.
Right, we have October, Victoria's stuff about Siboney taking it to the moon and people going crazy about this company that nobody knows what does.
Oh, guys, this is wait, really quick. That's an example of what I was saying about how stocks will move based on speculation and not actual confirmed news sometimes. So that's why you have to fact check, because if you look after this, you see how like where I have the little rocket emoji, people are making serious gains, right? Then it went back down just the same. So whereas people probably became millionaires from this stock, some people maybe even lost $1 million. So as I said, if you play with fire, careful not to get burned.
True. Right. Be careful of momentum plays, guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. Something else from October, we were talking about the supply chain crisis, and that was part of the inflation that we saw in October. There are other things causing it right now, including this. I'm not really sure what the latest news is on this. Like, we haven't been hearing about supply chains much, but that's probably because Russia-Ukraine kills a lot of airplay. So I'm not really sure about the state of this right now, but it was pretty bad. Like, pretty bad.
What, Jason? You know what we're seeing about it now is the effect of it in companies' financials. That's what we're seeing, because it's like when we had this news going on, it was happening, right? But then now that the quarters are closing off and financial years are closing off, now we're seeing how much it actually affects the bottom line. So yeah, right. Hopefully it's getting better now. Don't really know, but
because a couple weeks ago I was eavesdropping in this conversation. It was this tiny little restaurant and two people were talking at the top of their voices in there, so I was just there, and I have ears. I heard what they were saying. So one of them was this guy who imports, like, brings in containers from China for a living, or that's part of what he does. And in late 2019, early 2020, before COVID became a concern for Jamaica, it was like $2,000 to bring one of those whole trailers in, which is cheap because, you know, different people buy different things and you charge them and you make a lot of money. And eventually, like in mid 2021, it went up to 16K. So like his input cost went up 8 times, and that's because you can't get it offloaded in California, you can't get it through Panama Canal, whatever is happening, supply chains, and even if you can get it to leave China because they will lock down the ports and your container can't come. So it really was going up, and it was crazy. February, this is more recently, so you hear me talking about inflation a lot and how this was with the energy crisis, and my illustrated guide on how fossil fuels make the power that powers us. So I mean, we had that discussion, and looking into like the geography behind it, how like one cold winter can in a rich area makes people who can afford heating want more heating and lots of oil. And when people are disagreeing, we see up here, where I don't know if you can see my mouse, so let me get the laser pointer, right? You two can be looking at the same thing and seeing totally different things. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side, 1, 2, 3 on the other, right? So we remember that when we disagree with people, it doesn't mean that they're crazy. It doesn't mean that we're crazy. It means we see the world through different lenses and different perspectives. And that's one of the biggest takeaways that I've had in the past year. So, that's the last 5 minutes with JD for our semester. It's been a pleasure, guys. So over to the new exec.
Ooh, thank you so much, Jason.
I'm gonna miss it too, Alia.
Yeah, same. Aren't we all? 5 minutes with JD is just the hook of our meetings. Like everybody.
So it's more like 20 minutes. Thanks for your patience, guys.
No, we love it and we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jason, and thank you for all your 5 minutes with JDs. We really appreciate it. So now, guys, we're going to get into our games day, the game section of this meeting, which will be led by our new exec members. You guys ready? Let me give Jordina co-host. Anybody else supposed to get a co-host?
No, I think I can just control it from my end.
Oh, I'm not hearing Jordina. I'm not hearing.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I can control it from my end.
Okay.
Not Kimani rubbing his hands in preparation.
Wait, are you guys seeing my screen? Wait, no.
What happened? Yeah, we're seeing. What's wrong?
The answer's right there. Wait a second.
It's okay, we didn't see.
Okay. Are you guys seeing now?
Okay, yeah, we're seeing now, Jordina.
And you're hearing me clearly?
Yeah, if you could talk a little bit louder, that would be great. But we're hearing and we're seeing. Thank you.
Okay, so this game will be led by Abigail and I. Abigail Johnson. So we're going to play 2 truths and 1 lie. But I'm not sure if you guys know the game Among Us. It's always like an imposter in the game. So the imposter would be the lie. Right? Wait, you guys are hearing me, right?
I'm hearing you fine, Jordina. You're lower than the average person. I guess it's because I have earphones where I can hear you fine, but yeah, keep going.
I'm not sure why I'm so low though. Wait. Okay. So these are the instructions.
Yeah, don't feel pressure, Jordina. If you want Abigail to help, then that would be fine too. I know you guys work together on it, so I think Abigail could jump in if she wants. You know, you guys can. I think you guys
I'm
did
not
a
sure
good.
if you guys want to do it like voluntarily or work in pairs, or we could just anyone could just answer question really.
Okay, sure. Anyone
So
can answer.
since Abigail gave the first three statements, she can go ahead first.
Okay.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing Abigail.
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to ask 3 questions or statements actually, and you are going to tell me the lie out of the 3 options. So the first one is, stocks represent a fractional ownership of equity in an organization. 2, it is a guarantee must to earn profits through investing. And the last option is an example of liquidity risk or banks declining in deposits.
They have it in the
We cannot. I cannot see the chart.
All right, so yeah, I can probably read. So Sean says that the second one is a lie, as well as Garnet. So I'm going to agree with them on that one.
Yes, yes, the second one is a lie.
So blue was the imposter.
Ah, blue was the imposter.
You can go ahead, Abigail.
Oh, actually, the answer is in this one. I'm going to read it anyway. Carib cement royalty fees are 2.3%, or Eddie Focal IPO was closed at 9:01 on March 3, 2022, and that was oversubscribed, or Separate and Resinco are both listed on the main market.
What was the first one?
The first one was Carib cement royalty fees are 2.3%. Which one is the imposter, guys? I'm seeing red and blue. Huh. Actually,
You want the answer now?
you can switch, you can switch.
So yellow was the imposter, guys.
It was 4% for everybody, right?
Yes, it was 4%.
Okay.
Wasn't it 2%?
No, it's actually 4.
Oh, wow, I thought it was 2.
There was that additional bulletin that they gave in, remember? So this is separate from the earnings report. It's like when people started complaining, like, oh, you guys are paying, then they put it to list it out, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that they announced that they approved it the other day. In my mind, it was 2, but I'm probably wrong.
Okay.
Okay, this is the third one. Capital gains increase a capital asset's value and is realized when the asset is, I think that is incomplete. The second one is the combined holdings of the mutual fund are known as its portfolio, or Trinidad and Tobago was the first CBDC in the Caribbean. That was pretty easy. Everybody's saying blue. That is actually correct.
You want to continue reading, Abigail?
Repeat that, Jordina?
You want to continue reading?
Yeah, I can continue reading for you.
Okay.
Okay, so a higher share of Americans own stock than ever before. That's the first one. The second one, only Americans who own stock were affected by the stock market, or the stock market generally performs better when Congress is on recess. This is a pretty tricky one, so think about it. Okay, The answer is actually wait, what? Red.
I have a question on that though. Why does the stock market do better when Congress is on recess?
I'm sure you know she came up with that question.
I would say it performs better because usually when Congress is in action and they're not in recess, there is usually a lot of gridlock or new ideas that are being promoted or policies that might come to fray, and that might cause FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So when it's in recess and there's nothing going on, that's probably, you know, that makes a lot of investors relax, because investors really don't like change or too much like mix up when it gets like politics or policies. That's my guess. Based on what I've
That's actually correct. That's actually what the explanation said, because I wasn't sure if we were going to like explain why is it the lie and whatever. So I was actually searching, and what Malik said, that's actually the reason why.
Big up Malik. One thing I'd like to add before we move on is that investors like change when it suits them, right? So if a law is passed that makes a company that you are heavily invested in more profitable, you're going to like that. The thing is that other people won't, right? So if a law comes in that stops chicken from being imported, people who are invested in Jamaica broilers are going to be happy because that gives them a more captive market. People who benefit from chicken being cheaper, like restaurant people, caterers, they're going to be sad and their stock is going to go down. So if we're looking at the general performance in the market, keeping as many people as happy as possible, you want to keep stuff constant so people can factor it in.
If you have no FICO score, you can still get a mortgage or private mortgage insurance. PMI does not protect me, the buyer. Or as a rule of thumb, you should be 80 or older in order to get a reverse mortgage. I'm only seeing 2 answers.
Which is?
That is?
They said, okay.
It was actually the imposter, guys.
Do we care to have the reasoning for that one, please? Just so that we know.
13, it's very serious.
The reason that they gave me was that it's actually age 62.
Wait, seriously? That's oh, that's interesting.
Okay, so this is the this is the last question, guys. Over 50% of Americans have no estate plan, no will, and no medical directives, or dying without a will is known as an intestinal death. And the last option is not everyone needs to hide their money from the death tax. Which one is the imposter? I'm only seeing one answer, yellow. Does everyone agree with yellow?
Blue.
Kimani's correct. Well, I'm sorry for the incorrect spelling with this word.
Which one was blue again?
The intestinal thing, yeah.
Okay, buying with credit makes us feel the same as buying with cash. Credit cards were invented in 1950, where credit cards are considered unsecured debts.
Red.
We will answer now.
Yeah, you can answer.
Buying with a credit card makes you feel like a god.
So they said that with credit cards, we focus on benefits, and with cash makes us focus on the cost. So that is why.
Okay, guys, that was the
Thank
end of the game. Thank you for participating.
Thank you so much, guys. That was a cool twist with the imposter theme and everything. Thank you guys so much, Abigail and Jordina, for working on that and providing us with that game. And we learned from it too, so that's pretty cool. Thank you guys for that. Next up in our meeting is our roundtable talk, chit chat discussion, which will be led by Malik. Over to you, Malik.
Oh, my bad. My mic was off for a second there. Okay, guys. So, hey, how are you doing today? So, just to wrap up this entire academic semester, I basically wanted to like do a quick talk, basically on what we liked from this entire academic year. So, anyone can chime in. Anyone can talk about what they learned the most from which speaker, what they liked the most. What have they applied? What do they plan to apply from what speakers have said? And I'll kick it off and say that I'll start with Gordon Swaby. I liked that he said that when you become an entrepreneur and when you get big in business, you don't necessarily become fully independent. You still kind of have your own bosses. You still have masters that, you know, you have to do certain things to, I guess, please in a way. I think that was said when someone asked what are the biggest misconceptions, and he kind of like threw that out to threw it out there to say and clarify pretty much that even when you get this big, you still have a lot of people that you have to be held accountable to. So, for example, he said shareholders, he said his partners, etc. People that started Edifocal with him, for example, and you know, people that helped to fund the company and get it to where it is to this day. And just not even shareholders necessarily, pretty much every stakeholder, because you know, students, teachers, etc. So if anyone else liked what a speaker said, you guys can chime in if you want to chime in right now.
Yeah, I think that was a really good meeting. We had Gordon last week on, if you guys were here. He's the CEO and founder of Edifocal, as Malik could have mentioned. So yeah, I liked his meeting. I also liked Jillian Jackson, her meeting on personal finance. I think that was so informative. And it's a whole lot of really useful stuff that we can take and apply in our very own life. Like, for example, her tips on credit cards and stuff, and using it for a good reason. Because, you know, credit cards can be one of those topics that people are like, okay, stay away from it. If you get a credit card, you're going to go broke. You're going to be in a lot of debt. But she put a twist on it and said, hey, guys, look, credit cards can be really good to build your credit score from such a young age, because credit is something that can help you so much in life. She said it's one of those little secrets to being successful in life, because, you know, way down the road, or maybe even not so far down the road, you might need a loan for something. And if you have a much better credit score, then you can get a much better interest rate than if you don't. Because remember, banks, they're taking a risk by actually lending you money. So if your credit score is really bad, then the risk is higher, because they're like, okay, this person might not pay me back. So since the risk is higher, let me charge them a higher interest rate. So if you get a credit card, practice really good spending habits and paying off your credit in full 100% before the due date, then it could be something really good. So I learned that from her, and I liked I really liked her meeting, and Khalila's too. I think Khalila's was really informative when it comes on to how she started her business and her journey. Yeah, Garnet is saying it in the chat. I agree. Her story was inspiring too.
Very much.
Just to add to Victoria as well, I like Miss Jackson's presentation the most. She mentioned about the budgeting aspect of it in the meeting where she was like breaking down some of the items that you have in your budget. And I remember seeing childcare are for kids pretty much. And I was thinking that, yo, I never know that those other things should be in your budget. You understand? So that was that presentation that she did was very informative.
Yeah, something that I took away from Jillian's meeting was, well, she's well read, which I like. Like, she gives book references and stuff, and it's coming from a lot of wisdom. So, I went on her LinkedIn and I saw like she was a Fulbright scholar. Like, she's a really, really accomplished person, and I don't know, that was a nice opportunity to listen from somebody who works, who has a blog, who is a public figure on Twitter, more or less. Like, it was a really entertaining meeting. I think most of us remarked that it was probably the most engaging. We may have liked Kalila because she's popular and we really like her show, but in terms of a meeting, like a really enjoyable meeting, I think Jillian took the cake for a lot of us. One insight that I loved from Mark Crosby's meeting, and that was in first semester, I believe. He said that he wasn't into this business about a diversified portfolio. He was like, one, two, or three stocks make most of the money on the market. Put all your money in those and you'll get rich much, much faster. And that's like, he's right. Like, he is right. Yeah. Like, if are you going to make more money putting it into not an investment advice, JMMB or CPJ this week, or like on 138 SLVR last week, or something like that? Like, if you had all your portfolio in that and it went up and you took your profit, you would get so much more money than you would if you diversified. But you know, the downside to it is that if that one stock tanks, like how we've been seeing stocks tank as well, like, you're going to fall down. So he's a really high risk guy. But that was important, because for my computing capstone project, I've been building this model to like build the portfolios for people based on their risk. And one of the things I have to take into consideration is concentration risk, because what do you want, money or safety? And there's a trade-off. It's very hard to get both. So that was a cool thing. And Mark Gale was talking about that too. He had very balanced views. He wasn't saying, oh, buy your house. He wasn't saying, oh, rent. He wasn't saying, oh, do this, oh, do that. He was like, you need to know what you want to do. And here are the pros and cons, and there's a trade-off. You probably can't have your cake and eat it, but pick your poison, or else it's going to pick you, and you might not want that one. So Mark Gale and Mark Crosby, the two Marks, like they were really cool for me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jason. They had such unpopular opinions, and I like that, because it's kind of you need that kind of, I want to say, like, input as well, where somebody going against the norm, somebody bringing new ideas, not that they made up these new ideas, but you know, what's really traditional is diversify your portfolio, which is not bad advice at all, by the way. But it's just it's refreshing to hear a new opinion and something you can say, this actually makes so much sense. So yeah, I like their unpopular opinions too. Khalil, I think
it's good to have like different opinions and different perspectives, because you know, we all come from different circumstances, and that's really important. Khalil, your hand is raised, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I was just really chiming in that I really liked what Mark said, Crosscurry, because the things he was saying, he was so confident in it, but they were so strange to hear for the first time, because when you said concentration, you don't think of finance guys. You think of crazy people on Twitter telling you to go and concentrate. Not financial advice, but for him to be saying that, it was a really touching thing, that's things that people do, and they do it so they can make the gains that they want. Another one for me was the one on crypto. So the crypto talks, we had two of them, but the second one, I don't remember the guy's name. His name was, I think, Forrest. Yeah.
Trevor Forrest, I think.
Yeah. I learned a ton in that one, because I didn't know anything about crypto. So, and I've always wanted to learn, and my relationship with crypto guys is, it's kind of difficult to break it down because a lot of tech is involved, and he did a really good job. So I like that one.
I'll echo the thing about Mark Crosby. Like a lot of people just aimlessly say the whole point about diversification, and it was really nice seeing an established person say like the opposite. So I really like that, and I really love how open Gordon was with like just sharing stuff with us in general. I really like that, and the fact that he was just the CEO of the company that I have the most amount of my portfolio in. So that was a really cool opportunity too.
That's really good. And speaking of like being down to earth and being authentic, Monique Poyle was also really authentic, and she was great as well. Like you could just see the amount of experience. You can just see like the amount of like actual stuff that she had to go through so she could learn and grow. And I feel like we're gonna be seeing a lot of great things from Monique as well. So we learned a lot of real life stuff from her as well.
Yeah, and you know what's really interesting about Monique's story too? So I believe she was the first in the space based on her story. The space meaning the food delivery, right? She's a CEO and founder of Quick Cart, which was previously Quick Plate. And she was saying, this huge mammoth of a company came in. It was the first in the industry in Jamaica, and this huge company came in with over 500 employees and so much more capital and, so much more resources in general. But at the same time, she believed in what she was doing, and she believes in what she's doing, and she didn't let it phase her. So she acknowledged the fact that yes, this huge company, Hugo, that is, you guys would sell a huge Hugo billboards and ads and bike riders everywhere with the purple boxes. Hugo is really huge. But she didn't let that deter her from her goal and her vision for her company. And yet still she grew in her own way into something beyond food. She made it more of a retail service. So it wasn't just Quick Plate anymore in terms of getting food delivered. She made it into, I think you can order stuff from supermarkets. I'm not 100% sure how Quick Cart works, but I believe you can order retail items from maybe supermarkets and whoever she has on board. So I like that about her story. She had a big challenge, but yet still she persevered and her business is successful.
Across all the meetings that we've had over the semester and the different guest speakers we've had, my takeaway, like a more meta thing, is no matter what kind of person you are, there's some slot for you. There's some role that you can fill, some need that you can meet. Because you look at how the different persons, all of the people that we interviewed are pretty cool people, pretty accomplished people, and yet their personalities are so different. So a kind of behind the scenes thing, and new exec, when you're coming on, you'll see this. You might be writing the interview questions for them without really knowing the kind of personality you'll meet. So Monique is very experienced, but a lot more quiet. She takes time with her words. She's not as bubbly. Mark Crosby, you will ask him one question and then you have to be watching because he's rambling and you're ticking off, okay, so he answered that one too, so he answered that one too, let's move on. Then you have like a Kalila, who's a media person, so pointed, and you have like a Gabriel Abed, who you probably need to make extra. Malik, you're sharing your whole screen.
My bad.
Yeah. You need to like be friendly because he kind of has a blunt personality and it kind of can be jarring to other persons. So this is all to say all of these people's personalities have had benefits for them. Like as an ambassador, he's going to have to play hardball. Mark Crosby, he's developing relationships, so he has to be really friendly and talkative. Monique, she's probably a developer, so she needs to be quiet and to be able to work for a long time. But they have their challenges as well. And that story tells me, like, okay, you have your strengths, play to them. You have your not so strengths, don't let them stop you. And you can work on them because you know it's possible. So I guess that's one takeaway from looking at everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Does anyone else have anything else to say? What else did you guys like about the whole entire different guests that came? Or Dane, do you have anything to say?
I was very much a fan of Kalila. What Kalila Reynolds, particularly for those that are just, I would say, starting a company. Like her words were more than the things you should know. It was something like things I wished I knew, things that more that you're probably not going to hear a lot of places, because I think she would have spoken about it many times and she would have had the same points to the point that it gets where she doesn't just emphasize the fundamentals, but she emphasizes some things that about just things you wouldn't expect, things you wouldn't know you'd come across. And she basically emphasized the importance of buckling down and going in and going all in and going deep and not going slow. And to me, I prefer hers as my favorite. My second, I would say, was, I don't want to get her name wrong. It was Jillian, right? Her name is Jillian?
Jillian Jackson, yeah.
Yes. She was my second favorite. She was my favorite for, until, because I go over and watch over the videos. But she's my second favorite in that for those that are just beginning with financial planning, those that are just starting out structuring their lives and looking to the future, the amount of resources that she gave is just, it's almost overwhelming. For if you really want to organize your life, if you're really getting into budgeting, but not just budgeting, you're planning for your car, you're planning for your mortgage, you're planning on your investments, all the advice that she gave, all the tips that she gave, it was, as Jason pointed out, it was really hands-on, it was really in-depth, it was really some deep stuff. The only reason why Kalila would win over for me is because I want to start a company pretty soon. So then that is why I prefer hers. But Jillian, amazing. For anyone who's new, this is your first time, don't even go watch Kalila, go watch the Jillian. Although I haven't seen the Jillian meeting, so I will just check about that later on. But that was an amazing meeting. That's the reason why we have this club. That was, I'm telling you, that blew everyone out of the park. That was, I would say, hands down, the best meeting, just not my favorite.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for contributing to the roundtable talk or fireside chat. It was really cool hearing all the different perspectives about who was your favorite speaker and what you learned from them. So we have been waiting for this moment. We had a stock market competition all the way from last year up till the start of April, and we are going into prizes. So yeah. Let's get started on that very soon. And is my screen off, right, guys?
Yeah, it is.
Screen's off.
Okay, perfect. And we are gonna go into the stock market prizes. So let me just cast up the screen quickly. Someone, if you want to say something, Victoria or Matthew or Jason, you can go ahead and say, I get the competition up right now.
Okay, yeah, guys. So on the note of the stock market competition, this is one of the great things about this club. And, I'm sure the new exec will continue it. And if you're not in third year and you're still going to be a member of this club, I think this is something that you can continue to benefit from, as well as, speaking of guest speakers, it's a great networking opportunity. A lot of the guest speakers themselves spoke about networking. So these YIC meetings are a great place to network. Let your voice be heard, let them hear you and see your name or see your face if you're in person, and make that connection. Just be bold, step forward and introduce yourself. You can add them maybe on LinkedIn or wherever is suitable for you. And yeah, just make the most out of this club, because a lot of stuff you get here, you're not going to get in lectures. So make the most of your extracurriculars and, a whole lot that this club has to offer. So yeah, we have some winners.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of what a lot of people will learn stuff from clubs and from different hobbies than they actually learn from school. A lot of the times I've heard that from people all the while from them coming to the club. So what Victoria said is definitely true. All right, guys, so we are finally here. And we have 3 top positions. I'm gonna try and just scroll by quickly, so you guys don't see like the top people. But all right, so in 3rd place, we have Sean Davidson wrapping up the year with $206,000. That's more than twice the initial investment. You guys can clap. You guys can congratulate Sean. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. And Sean, you will be receiving $5,000 for your prize. So congratulations, right there as well.
Congratulations, Sean.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Sean, do you have a speech that you would like to say, a quick speech? Like, if you want to say something, you can make it quick.
You know, apart from including your speech, Sean, what would be really cool is if you could give the club a little tip on what you did to be a winner, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. What I'd say is to make the most of opportunities.
Oh, you're a little bit low. I'm not sure if we can hear you so good.
Can you hear me?
Not so clear. I'm not sure what's happening with the mics today.
You're okay for me, Sean. I mean, you're lower than most people, but I can hear you clearly.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, as I was saying, just make the most of opportunities. For me, what I could say is that I kind of neglected the game for a while, so I wondered to myself what was the best way to make money faster than anything else. So I tapped into the new IPOs, JFP, Learn, and
Wow. Okay. Nice. That's a smart tactic. Okay, so Sean, you'll be receiving $5,000. We'll contact you after the meeting. Congratulations, and you're reaping the what you've sown. Congratulations. So Manny Barnett is 2nd place with $209,000, just edging out Sean by roughly $3,000. So congratulations, Malik Barnett. Is Malik here today?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll reach out to Malik. I'm sure he did roughly what Sean did, and it was some quick positions that he took to get that much money. All right, and then we are rounding up to number 1, the top position after an entire, well, more than semester of trading and investing, and in the end coming out on top. We have Vaughn Harris wrapping up the year with $323,000 and tripling his investment, his initial investment. Congratulations, Vaughn. I think Vaughn here.
Congratulations, Vaughn. Is Vaughn here? I think he is.
Yeah, Vaughn is here.
Vaughn will be receiving his top prize of $10,000. Vaughn, if you're here and you want to say something, feel free to chime in, tell us what you did, how are you feeling, etc.
Thanks. I use multiple strategies. One was event-driven or news. For example, we even today with Kingston Properties, they announced APO perspective yesterday, and look what happened today. They're down more than 10%, I think. So they have different things in the market that actually induce certain movements in the market.
Okay, nice. All right.
So, but I use all IPOs.
And you also use all IPOs as well?
No, I use all of them.
Okay, like which ones did you use?
Way more money. Because I started January. I like January. And there are a lot of things happening. But sometimes I was busy too, but could have made way more money on that. Because a lot of IPOs came out and only lose one.
Yeah. Vaughn, so like you ride the Spurtree and the Edifocal.
That's one alone. Edifocal alone. I am the
Oh, okay.
JFP one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good one as well. So Khalil is saying, Vaughn, we need to talk.
Wow, that's great. Congrats, Vaughn. Congrats. When did you start investing? You do invest with, well, I should ask, do you invest with live money? Like
Yeah, I started around the same time, January.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Wow, nice. Congrats. This is amazing. And by the way,
Yeah,
guys,
guys.
if you didn't know, everybody started with 100,000 virtual money. So I mean, this is incredible. Vaughn has almost tripled his, I mean, more than tripled his. So that's amazing.
Yeah, guys, one thing I want to point out while Malik's screen is still up, look at the portfolio value and see how, like, the biggest is really, really big compared to the second biggest compared to the third, and then it just tails off, right? And this is not I'm not comparing any one person to any one person. Like, this is impersonal right now. Just the same way as only a few people make most of the money, only a few stocks make all the money. So when Mark Prosper was talking about concentrated portfolio, that's what he was saying. No, these stocks change over time. So if you buy one stock and it does well this week, it doesn't mean that's going to do well for your lifetime. But that's why the richest 1%, like some of the people make all the money, some of the cities have all the people, some of the stars have all the mass. Like, that's just how it works. So when people talk about, oh, inequality, like, no, you know, there's a mixture of talent. So like Vaughn really applied his talent, right? Like I think Victoria, Malik, and I are all equally surprised that if you started in January and you did so well, then yeah, big up to you. But also, if you have a bet between two stocks that both look the same, one can do well and one might not, and there's that element of chance. So you know that follows us throughout everything we do.
True.
Yeah. Vaughn, you still have your hand up, or?
Yeah, he raised his hand.
I want people like to leave your side. You see, if you stock splits or even with JMB share buyback, just look at what happened in the past, and then maybe not necessarily what happened, but it should gauge what probably might happen or an idea what will happen in the future. When not necessarily will happen, but give you an idea of what will happen. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Look at trends. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when I was in the stock market competition for high schools, I think from November 2018 to April 2019, I ended up in the top 10, and I used to look at some news, I used to look at some trends, and I used to use a lot of technical analysis. Since this is just over the span of a few months, you would want to like be doing faster kind of transactions. So most of the times I used to trade and like, you know, get out of position. So I used to use all kinds of stuff, and some of the stuff line up with what Vaughn and Sean and probably Malik did as well. So yeah, guys, I think an example or like a lesson to also learn from is that since this happened over like just 5 or 6 months, you have to reshape your time horizon to meet the goals that you want to meet. So you might can't do certain things that more long-term or medium-term investors might do. You might have to like take on more short-term investment tactics or techniques in order to get ahead of the group or to win or to, you know, hit the goal faster. So that's something it looked like Vaughn and Sean did. So congratulations, guys. We'll reach out to you afterwards, and yeah, big up. You never know, this could be the start of many millions to come. So learn and earn, like I said last week to Gordon. All right, guys. And congratulations to everybody who tried as well. All of you guys who jumped in, you guys also did well. Some of you guys lost money. Some of you guys, I'm sure, learned a lot of stuff, but this is the official graph right here, the bar charts of all the players. And here's the pie chart. These are people from different institutions, but UWI Young Investors Club is what they should have actually named themselves. and then boom, over $2 million combined. So congratulations, guys. This is the start of many, many great things to come.
Absolutely. And I wanted to say too, congrats to everybody who actually took the step to be involved in this game, because even if you weren't a winner by your portfolio value, you're a winner in terms of the fact that you gained so much knowledge from experience. And that's so important, guys, because when it comes down to something like investing, you really, an opportunity like this where you get to trade with virtual money before you actually go in with real money, it's a golden opportunity. And even if you made a loss, you learned, or I hope so, that you learned from it because you realized what didn't work. So the fact that you know what didn't work, you won't go into the real market with that. You'll pursue a different strategy. So I think everybody definitely came out with something. Even if you didn't come out on top, you should have definitely come out better than you were before. And that in itself is a win. So congratulations to everybody. And thank you all for being a part of this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we definitely look forward to the new exec continuing it and, bringing on new initiatives on everything. Yep.
Yeah,
You have anything else, Melly? Oh.
Yeah, so to just wrap up, thank you to everybody who participated in the club. I know you guys haven't seen me in a while, but I've been there in the background. Victoria for stepping up and leading the meetings, supporting each other. I hope that you guys continue the club with the stuff.
Oh, Hallie, you're freezing up a lot. I'm not sure if it's just me not hearing.
It's happening on my end.
Yeah, man, her connection is not stable right now.
Hallie, I'm not sure if you're talking, but we're not hearing. Okay, I think she might.
His audio looks like it's gone. Like I see her on the call, but no mic.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
I'm probably reconnecting. I see that message from Sidonie. I hope I didn't butcher your name in the chat.
Thank you, Sidonie.
You guys hear me?
Sidonie says big up to exec too. Oh yeah, we're hearing now.
Thanks, Sidonie. Yeah, we're hearing. Hallie?
You're muted, Hallie.
Okay, guys, I don't think Hallie's connection is working out so well, but I think she was basically just thanking everybody. So, oh. I'm not sure what's happening.
You hear me now?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I basically said everything I wanted to say still. Just thanks to everybody for contributing to the club, really enjoying the club and putting their all into the club. It has moved a lot since last year, so we just have to give thanks and show appreciation to everybody who really contributed and stood up for this club. So thank you for it. All of the members, all of the new exec. I hope that you're gonna have a great year. I don't know if it's face-to-face or online yet, but I really do wish you guys well. So that's all.
Yeah, thanks, Hallie. And thank you so much, everyone. So we're officially wrapping up our last YIC meeting for this semester and for this school year, guys, and with this exec. So we just want to thank you a million. Thank you so much for being a part of our club. And thank you to everybody who contributed something, even if it's just by being here, by participating in the meetings. Huge thanks to our incredible exec of this year. Thank you guys so much. I think, round of applause. I think we did a solid job based on the feedback of the club. You know, we always listen to you guys and hear what you're saying. So we really appreciate you all. Thank you to every single club member. Of course, we greatly appreciate every single guest speaker, even though they're not here. But thank you all. And we, as Holly said, we do wish the new exec an incredible year, a very successful club in terms of growing it and continuing on the legacy of YIC and, you know, all the effort that everybody has put in to get it to where it is today. It's incredible. So thank you all so much. Keep investing. You know, you guys can always reach out to us, whether the new exec, club members, you guys have our numbers, we're on WhatsApp. Feel free to reach out to us for anything. As Jason said, even if you want us to come back on as guest speakers, for example, or if you just want to send us a little WhatsApp message, you need a listening ear on anything, we're here for you guys. And we just want to thank you a million, guys. Thank you so, so much. And we wish you all the best in all your endeavors. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, guys, and also the club wouldn't be anything without you guys. So the fact that you guys have been coming week after week after week, interacting with the post, talking in the group chat, etc., we're very grateful for that. And hopefully, you know, all of us have learned a lot over the past academic year. Like Victoria said, if you want to reach out to us, you can get us on WhatsApp. You can also ask the new executive to contact us. Or, you know, we're on social media as well. So my handle is in my name. Victoria is Victoria Parag, I think, right? Jason Decom, Matthew, Hallie. Pretty much, I think the entire exec is on social media, whether Twitter or IG. So if you want to reach out to us directly, you can get us there if you don't have our numbers.
Yeah, and since I kind of try to moderate my social media usage, I mean, if you WhatsApp me, I'll see it most likely. But my website, jasondecambre.me, then all my contact information is on the homepage, so you can check out and use your preferred way to contact me. Except my number, I'm not going to put my number on my website, obviously. Cool. And you guys can stay tuned because Malik and I write about topics that we usually discuss here. So if you guys want to get in on writing, or if you have a request, then you can use this. This is not just me plugging. It's like, okay, bye-bye. So let's share all the info we have now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Khalil has something to say too.
No, I just wanted to say that great year. I thank you guys all. Can't believe all the exec is gone and we have a brand new one. But I know it's going to be an exciting year and I'm really excited. But I'm going to miss you guys and thanks for everything.
Of course. Thank you so much, Khalil. And you're welcome. You guys are very welcome. And we're glad that you enjoyed the club and everything that we put into it. We really appreciate you guys. So we're on our way out and we wish you all the best. Love this club and looking forward to seeing you guys just continue to blossom, and we can always keep in touch. You guys can reach out to us. So yeah, thank you guys and have an amazing year ahead. Bye guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, you want to stop the recording, Victoria? And then we stay for one last thing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we just have to give a little toast.